Good evening, everyone. And I know all of us were excited to be in the room and have an in-person event, but I think excitement is getting over because it's the last session and energy levels are going down. So I'll try to be as precise and as concise as possible. My name is Amit. You heard a little bit about Cohesity. Most of you would not know about the company, so I would encourage you guys just reach out to our booth and ask who we are. But I chose, instead of telling who we are, what do we do, so that it is easy for you to relate. Data management is what we do. Whatever is related to manage the data is what is our bread and butter. I'm going to touch base a little bit of security piece today, which everybody is talking about, and good that I chose the same topic instead of something different that nobody else will understand. So let's quickly go into that. Hope it is visible. All of us would agree that IT is changing. There are many threat vectors. We work from home. Government regulations are there, which are becoming more and more stringent. Legacy infrastructure is not able to cope up with that. And everybody wants to go to the cloud today. All of our customers are saying something to do with cloud. And again, there is hardly any tolerance to any downtime. But at the same time, what you need is something like that picture. What is that? What is the picture? Can anybody see, understand what is shown over there? A goalie, right? What goalie does? And before the goal comes to goalie, is there nobody in the front line? There's an entire front line defense that protects that protects you from your opponent. Opponent is trying to hit the goal in your goal post. There's an entire front line defense that is trying to protect. And something happens and ball goes into the goalie's hand. What does goalie do? Protects, try to save you, but not just stop at that. Gives ball back to your team. So throwing it back to your team and making them come back into the game. So we believe we are that last line of defense where we can help you manage your data, protect your data, make it available, and give it back to you when it is required. Now, we'll quickly go into the evolution and then we'll take an example and then stop. How data management is changing in the last 4, 5, 10 years. Initially, it was all about protecting the data from human errors. It was all about avoiding unplanned downtime. Over the period, it has become a little bit more complex with a lot of regulations coming in, and it was about avoiding heavy fines, penalties, and reducing the compliance risk. But today, as you heard from all of us, almost all the speakers, that it is all about business reputation. It is all about avoiding your data getting exfiltrated into dark webs so that there's no business disruption. There is protection to your reputation in the business. If that is how data management changed, how the security or how ransomware is also changing. We heard from my friend just now how many attacks are happening per second. Some 4.8 lakh attacks are happening in a day. If you translate that, I just did some maths, 6 attacks per second are happening. If that is the case, we also seeing that the ransomware world is changing, and we call it ransomware 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0, just to keep it simple. So in the first phase of ransomware, what used to happen? That ransomware will go and encrypt your production data. And they'll ask you for ransom. But then we had ways to restore data back. So they became a little bit more intelligent. They said, okay, why don't I go and first encrypt your backup and then delete your data? You're again stuck somewhere, right? Again, so the security mechanisms are changing. The data management world is even talking to that as well. But now it is becoming even more, I would say, prevalent, that they don't just take your data, but they try to steal your data and pass it on into the dark web or do something more with that data so that your reputation is at stake. That's how ransomware is also evolving along with data management. Now, what do you do? Or what we can help our customers along with you do is we can help you minimize the blast radius of this ransomware. First, by simply being able to restore data from backup, if something goes wrong, you have a backup. The first line of defense, I can back up your data and restore from that data. If your backups are gone, we provide you immutability to the data that sits on our platform. So by design, we are immutable. Nobody can modify what is written to me. So if something goes beyond and somebody is trying to even take that backup copy from me, I will make it even harder to change because it is immutable by design. And I can even isolate that and keep it on an air-gapped location, air-gapped architecture. And further, to take it forward, what do we do to prevent the attacks which are into stealing your data? We try to work with our security ecosystem vendors and players to help you protect by doing early detection as well as continuous monitoring and integrate with the security ecosystem as well. With that is where the threat defense architecture lies, and somebody also spoke about a similar architecture just now. So what we can help you achieve, or what you should do if you are looking at a data management framework for your data, is build some kind of a threat defense architecture. We can help you, otherwise you can do this in your solutions, is what we would like to say. So how do we achieve? We achieve this by multiple layers of security. We start with the data resiliency at the core. Simply encryption of the data, fault tolerance to the data, provide high availability and immutability to the data at the core is the first layer through which we achieve the data resiliency. Once we achieve resiliency to this data, what do? We try to provide a better level of access control so that only required users would get access to it. So we spoke about zero trust principle, we just heard about it, right? So we achieve that zero trust principle by only giving access to the data who need it, working with multi-factor authentication vendors, provide role-based access control, provide a quorum-based trust for administrative accounts, etc. So that provides you a second layer of defense to your data. And it's all about data management and data security. So that's something that you should keep in mind, that we can help you achieve. Once that is done, we go into the next layer wherein, while I have protected your data, I have secured the access to this data, what else I can do? I can further go and provide a near real detection to the threats by doing some behavioral analytics, by doing some data classification, by doing some anomaly detection natively on this data. And this all is happening at the data layer. Once this all is done, I need to work with my ecosystem partners. And these are the partners that provide the endpoint security, partners those who provide the identity management solutions, partners who provide vulnerability management solutions, as well as threat detection solutions. And that's our architecture to provide the last line of defense, the goalie that you saw in the first picture. So we are trying to not just help you protect your data, but give it back to you by providing you the solid line of defense. I'm just one slide on my solutions. I'm not talking about products at all. What do? As I said, we provide you a next-gen data management solution, and what you just saw, that threat defense architecture is the core of our platform. So we achieve the data resiliency, we provide right level of access controls, and then we further provide you with a behavioral analytics and detection and AI-based approach to detect any anomalous behavior in the system. This is the core of our platform. We have built our platform called Helios on top of this, and what do? Once the platform is built, we help you provide various ways to manage your data. We help you back up and restore your data. We help you access this data as a file system, access this data as an object storage, access this data in the event of disaster by building a DR site or an air-gapped site, access the data or provide data security and a governance to your data, and access the same data for various use cases. So once we build that platform, which is based on that threat defense architecture, we can help you manage your data. And this is all about the entire data management that we can achieve by providing various solutions. So this is our framework with which we go into the market along with you to help achieve data management to our customers. And why do customers like us? Because it's a simple hyperscale or scale out software defined architecture. Choose a hardware from HP or Cisco or a Dell or anybody in the matter, or run as a virtual machine or a software. But it's simple, same architecture that runs across the platform. It's built on zero trust at the core itself. We don't trust anybody. It is always role-based and at a zero trust kind of architecture, AI-powered. And finally, we work with a lot of players for extending our solutions into the market, like opening API-level access, as well as providing open SDKs as well. This is one of the last slides. This is an example of a healthcare provider or a hospital in ANZ. They were attacked by ransomware. And if you just hear the story that they said, Cohesity helped us save hundreds of hours of work and prevented us from actually paying the ransom, and we are into the job only because of us. That's kind of trust we have. And again, to just see what we have done, the technical team said they were able to go back into the business by restoring their database in a few minutes' time after the ransomware attacked them. That's the kind of solutions we can help our customers achieve along with you guys. I'm done. Just one slide I'm showing. In case if you would like to understand more, reach out to us. And if you decide to build this kind of architecture on your own, we also help you provide a simple evaluation guide. Whatever I spoke about here, if you're evaluating 10 vendors in this space, I would like to ask you to look at all these different capabilities, put the vendors over here, and then weigh them together and see which vendor comes to the nearest resolution to you guys. In case we believe we do everything from the ground up, but this is what we achieve, and we also help you do the same with your customers. With that, I'm calling it a day. Thank you so much.